Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Little Pot of Horrors. As always, I'm Goggs, and as always, I am joined with Mr. Boz. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
A little bit overworked, but other than that, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good. It's good to
And
be.
I haven't had my dreams and hopes shattered, so I'm very happy.
Well, that's good then.
We'll get on to that, though.
Before I start this show, or we kick into this properly, today we are recording on Saturday, April 20th. This has been I have absolutely no idea when this show is going to come out, but we're recording this before my little dedication of the show. This has been a hell of a week for news and stuff that's been going on. But tomorrow is a very special day for one particular lady. Hopefully she's a fan of the show. I'm not quite sure if she is or not, but I'm hoping that she is. Our lovely friend Mary, or Mex, is running the London Marathon tomorrow. And I want to kind of give a little dedication to her because I can't even imagine what it must be like to prep to run the London Marathon, let alone want to run the London Marathon.
No, exactly.
And
especially after what's just happened as well.
Exactly.
I could add to that as well, our friend Laura, a friend of mine anyway, and I think she does listen. She is also running the London Marathon.
Well, fantastic. So good luck. Oh, well, you're not really going to hear this, but hopefully you have done well.
We should say well done.
Yes, well done.
Having a go.
Exactly. Raising lots of money for charity.
Yes.
Which is the main thing. I know that Mary's way exceeded her goal from a monetary standpoint and stuff, so that's fantastic. So dedicating this show to them.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, I've actually got some stuff to talk about this week. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. I know, but I haven't.
Not about how you've not watched anything.
Well, it's kind of. I haven't really watched anything,
okay.
But what I have kind of watched. But there's lots of different little bits and pieces to talk about. First of all, we are going to be talking about The Evil Dead, which I did go see. Thank you very much to my generous co-host for basically buying me a ticket to go see it.
Is that what you were getting out of it?
No, that wasn't, bastard. And we'll talk about that in a little while. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a little special show dedicated just to The Evil Dead, so we can spoil the fuck out of it. We both want to talk about this in great depth. In fact, let's just briefly talk about it just now, shall we? If you have listened to the Pod of Horrors, or Little Pod of Horrors, way back when I first started it, or if you can go back onto the stream and I think it's episodes 4, something like that, you will hear my initial thoughts on The Evil Dead. Briefly sum it up, I didn't like kind of really
how much
any
you
of them.
loved it, and it's the best franchise ever in the world.
Yeah.
Back in the basement.
Exactly. So I was not a fan of Army of Darkness. Yes, was funny and was good, and I really enjoyed it. And that's but that's not really a kind of proper horror movie, really.
Nah.
So I really didn't. I think we've mentioned before that I was more curious as to what your reaction would be to it as a huge lover of this movie. So I went in with some trepidation, especially after hearing what your initial Twitter comments were on it. And I will just say this one thing about it: it is quite possibly the best horror movie I have watched in years.
Amen to that.
So
I had all my hopes so high after that. I saw the Red Band trailer, and I was like, if you can show me somebody cutting their tongue in half with a razor blade on a fucking trailer, then this film is either can't live up to that, or has to be so much more than just that they were brave enough to put that in the trailer.
Yeah.
And thankfully it was the latter of the two.
I would thoroughly recommend anybody go see this. You did put a bit of a disclaimer on there, not for the faint of heart, and
yes,
there are some moments where I'm kind of glad my stomach wasn't full of food and stuff, and it may have been a little bit much. But if you even if you don't enjoy the Evil Dead movies and stuff, still go watch it. Trust me. Just trust me. If you want to hear more thoughts, then there will be another little show we will discuss this. But I absolutely loved it.
It's as close to a. If you're doing out of 5, it's a 5-star movie. If you're doing out of 10, it's a 9.5. Just because I always hope that there is room for improvement. But I was saying I went with my good friend Tristan and Lavinia, the three of us, and he'd got as low in his seat as was possible to get, with his hoodie pulled up over his mouth at certain stages. And I was just sitting there going, "This is a horror masterclass."
Yes.
Everybody watch this. Anybody who's ever thinking of making a horror film, watch this, and then try and do better. And we'll all be very, very happy people, I think, going forward.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll save the rest
Yeah.
for the other bit.
I do have lots of little bits and pieces to talk about. I try to watch... I've had a problem with watching movies in the last few weeks, because this is going to sound very, very strange. But bear with me, and hopefully people will understand what I mean. Okay. This is going to sound really weird, I'm going to say it out loud, but I have been practicing this all day. Okay. You know how if you get like a really good bag of crisps, okay? Or chips to the American audience, and I'm going to use Golden Wonder salt and vinegar. I don't even know if you still get Golden Wonder, do you?
I don't know, actually. I haven't seen them for a lot of years.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Golden Wonder because that used to be my favourite salt and vinegar. And you get a really, really good bag, and the flavours would be awesome, and it would just be so strong, and by the end of it, you'd be like, oh my god, that was amazing, I just want more. And then you go open a second bag, and you're like, ugh.
Not the same.
And I mean, it's not to say the second bag, if it was on its own, might have been really good, but it just doesn't live up to the one you had before. I had that problem with films. Okay, see, I told you, really weird. But I'm trying to kind of put it into context.
Okay.
Kids were gone a couple of weeks ago, and usually when the kids are gone is my ideal time to sit down and watch as much Netflix horror stuff as I can, or get stuff from Redbox or whatever, and just get my fill of it and have a good few hours. So I was on Redbox. They didn't have any new movies that I really wanted to see that I couldn't get on Netflix for free, but I rented Dread based on the Admiral's comments, and some other people saying it was kind of horror-fied, but not really. But so I'll rent this. But I also got another non-horror related movie, so the wife and I could watch it, which is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So, have you seen it?
I won't on principle.
Okay.
But okay.
So we got home. I thought, okay, I'll put the family, well, not the family, the wife movie on first, so we can sit and watch this before she goes to bed, and I can watch the boy movie. That movie absolutely destroyed me.
Really?
Oh my god. I was, at the end of it, I was in tears, I was shaking, it absolutely fucking destroyed me. Best non-horror movie I have watched, and I don't know how long.
Really?
Oh my god. It was very personal and a lot of respect,
Oh, okay. Right.
which is why it just destroyed me. I can see why a lot of people might not like it or think it was too hokey or whatever.
It looked really hipster douchebaggy to me, and that really put me off.
Yeah.
But
And I can see why. The lead actor, I think Logan something is his name, the guy from Percy Jackson. Amazing job. The role that he played, it was just unbelievable. So that, for me, kind of spoiled any movies I was watching after that, because I was just so taken aback by it and so emotion filled, and nothing, I just couldn't get the same high from watching anything like that. But immediately after watching that, I put Dread on, and it was just the wrong thing to do. I should just have left it, walked away or whatever. But I did watch Dread, and I can see where people are coming from and saying it's kind of bordering on the edge of horror with the deaths, or the way that they kill some of the people. But
well, skin him and throw him over a balcony is pretty severe.
Yes. And as a major fan of the comic, or was it 2000 AD, when I was a teenager for a few years, or obviously I was a teenager for a few years, but I mean for a couple of years I read the comics religiously. It was great. It stuck to what the Dread character should be, this big badass character, not the bullshit Stallone version from various years ago, which I didn't like. Yeah, exactly. But overall I was very, very disappointed with the movie, and I didn't enjoy that movie really. Which is weird, because lots of people are telling me it's fantastic, or not fantastic, but it was a brilliant ride to watch for an hour and a half or so. I think that's why I'm thinking all my movie experiences have been kind of spoiled by that one movie, by my bag of crisps.
You should have watched Martyrs after it, and then watch something else.
I probably should have.
Coming down towards Dread, you know.
Just cleanse the palate.
Yes.
of it and stuff. But yeah, Dread didn't really do anything for me.
Oh.
Have you
I love Dread.
really? See, that's what I mean. Everybody I know was always like, really? And I was like, yeah, sorry.
But it's a meathead action movie, and if you're not in the mood for a meathead action movie, it's just going to fall flat.
Yeah, which is what it did.
And also, I think, especially with Dread 3D, okay, the 3D wasn't integral, but seeing it in the cinema was important. I always say this, I'm a big fan of the cinema, and I probably always will be, because I love that. As long as there's no dickhead eating sweets out of the loudest fucking crisp packet in the world 2 feet away from me, as long as that's not happening, the cinema is like the best thing in the world, because you're just locked in, you got the amazing surround, the big spectacle, and those slow-mo sequences in the 3D on the big screen were just brilliantly done, and it just carried me away with it, that film. I blinked and it was the end, you know. It was just I didn't think about how long it was, or I was just in for the ride, you know. But then I do watch pretty much anything. I watched G.I. Joe Retaliation.
I watched that too.
And I didn't hate it. I should have... I didn't like it either, but I didn't hate it. And I should have hated it, because it was very hate-worthy.
Oh yeah, it's awful. But it's fun. I went, my boss, and okay people, this isn't horror related, but shut up, it's our show, so leave us alone.
Oh, no, the script was horrible. It was horrific.
Oh,
the
yeah.
script was beyond terrifying.
It was, I mean, as my son's 13 coming up to 14, he loved it. Which, I mean, okay, I can understand why. There's a pretty girl in it, and there's lots of explosions and violence and all that fun stuff, and yeah, that's what it is. You just leave your brain at the door, and you can just have a bit of a fun ride with it and watch the campiness and all that. But yeah, the script is terrible. The main thing, I was like, it's stupid, and Devon was like to me, it's not stupid. I was like, really? You are going to devise this big motherfucking Death Star type weapon?
I hope you didn't say that to your kid.
No.
Sorry.
I was like, you're going to devise this weapon, and then you're going to put a self-destruct button on it? Oh, sorry, spoiler. But, I mean, really?
But, you know, it was put back a year and restarted, and I don't know what the bullshit was, because, I don't know, somebody came back and then died in the first 10 minutes. Whatever. But in the middle of the film, there's this narrative car crash, and it just kind of goes... And then suddenly we're in, like, Tokyo in a dojo, and this guy's talking bollocks about, oh, you are the cousin of him, and this kind of complete for Wendy kind of layout of this, because nobody's got a clue who she is, no one's got a clue who she is. Let's just line that all up with a really bad voiceover, and that was so crowbarred in, it took me out of everything and just made me go, oh, you're kidding.
Oh yeah, it was awful. I was like sitting there going, what am I watching? I don't care. Who are you? Why do I care? Don't think so. Let's get back
Nowhere
to
near as good as the first one.
cool ninjas off of cliff hanging faces and things like that.
That was the best bit, actually. I did enjoy.
That was pretty awesome. So it was. But yeah.
Anyway, horror films.
Yeah, I'm excited. I went to the cinema twice in a month. I know. So yeah, so sorry, Dread was a bit ruined for me by my my completely emotional breakdown. What I have been kind of looking at, or what I seem to be watching or thinking about, was I couldn't find any decent horror movie lately. I really couldn't. And I was sitting kind of going, I am really upset with the fact that there's nothing decent on Netflix. I can't go to the DVD store and actually find any decent horror movies. And then I started to look at trailers for the upcoming stuff, and I'm actually quite excited about a couple of things.
I know one of the ones you're going to say.
Do you? Okay.
Would it be The Conjuring by any chance?
It would be! I have that on my list.
I get my own room. Oh, really? Oh, that's on the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. First clap. Clap.
get you now. I can hear you breathing.
You took your blindfold off. I win. I was in Christine and Nancy's room.
Girls, it's way past your bedtime. Who's ever down there? I'm gonna lock you in now. Ah! Help! Andrea! Help!
Obviously, director from Saw is a good thing, or potentially a good thing. Director of Insidious, I was a bit meh on that movie. But watching the trailer, I mean, the trailer gives a lot away, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does.
Potentially gives a lot away. But can't say I'm a massive fan of Patrick Wilson. But this movie looks awesome.
It does. A couple of just bits of the trailer. I was just and actually, it's right at the end. I'm not going to say what it was, even if I do remember what it was. But there's a bit at the end where all three of us jumped, and I'm like, I love it when a trailer makes you jump.
Yes.
So.
But yeah, The Conjuring just looks like it could be a really awesome, scary kind of. It's not really possession type movie, is it? It's like kind of demon haunting, really. Yeah. Not quite sure what it is. A presence.
It's a shit title, is what it is.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of, you imagine really suspenseful music and low-level lighting and just. Is this your card? Just kills it, that title.
But yeah, maybe it'll mean something. I don't know. I'm assuming something. If something doesn't get conjured, then that's a completely again stupid title.
Yeah. And if there's a bad card trick as a punchline at the end, I will be upset.
That would be great as an after-credit sequence. Ta-da!
Yeah.
The only thing I'm a bit worried about is it's based on true story. Kind of real, or was it supposed to be based on a true story until now, or this story's been locked away until now?
But it's based on a true story. Once there was a man and woman, they worked together and travelled around a bit. The rest is sort of fictional embellishment.
Yeah.
You just have to have a bloke with that name, and generally that you can say, it's based on a true story.
So yeah, it was a bit, when I saw that bit come up, I was like, oh god, really? Is it one of these? But I'm holding out kind of high hopes for it, which should be good. The other one that I'm kind of looking forward to this, but I think it could go disastrously wrong. And I'm really hoping it doesn't go disastrously wrong, and I think I'm going to have to watch this one in the cinema, so that I don't get ruined by it being in the house. Is The Purge, which is an Ethan Hawke movie.
Is it?
Yeah. It's due out here the end of May. Basically, it's the IMDb thing doesn't really work out properly, but the trailer will tell you properly that basically America's doing great, everyone's employed, everyone's amazing, the whole world is fantastic. And the reason the whole world is fantastic is because for one night or for 12 hours every year you can commit any crime that you want. So for 12 hours, no emergency services, nothing, you're all left to your own devices. You want to go kill people, You want to rob banks, you want to blow shit up,
Hell.
you can do whatever you want. And then it kind of turns into what looks a bit like, have you seen the movie The Strangers?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
I don't really go in for home invasion, so I don't really watch those films. But
It seems to kind of turn into that at some point. I imagine it wouldn't take pretty long, really. It will only take a few minutes to set up the movie, I'd imagine, and then it'll go quickly into that kind of home invasion movie, which is where it could go disastrously wrong. So I like the premise of it, but I'm just hoping that they can do it. They can do it right.
yeah, they tend to overdo these sort of productions, don't they? You start with a good concept, but then you just but what do you do beyond the good concept?
Yeah.
And that's where so often they go wrong because they don't know how to continue it.
Yes, and I think this is one particularly where the ending could just suck.
Yeah.
Because it's only really going to go one or two ways, to be honest. So, who knows? It might surprise me, but I'm quite looking forward to that one.
Tonight allows people a release for all the hatred and violence that they keep up inside them.
Why don't you guys kill someone tonight?
Because we don't feel the need to, Joey.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
We'll be fine just like always, no worries, okay?
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge. At the siren, all emergency services will be suspended for 12 hours. Your government thanks you for your participation.
Help me! Someone, please, help me! I just need to get somewhere safe. Does anybody hear me?
Let's go! This way! This way, hurry!
Why did you let him in our home? We have no idea who's after him.
Our target for this year's purge is hiding in your home. You have 1 hour to find him and give him to us, or we'll kill all of you.
They can't get in here, right? They can't get into our home.
We're gonna make it through tonight, and everything is gonna be okay.
Nothing is ever going to be okay again.
And continuing we'll go back to remake theme. Carrie.
Brightly beams our Father's mercy from his lighthouse evermore. But to us he gives the keeping of the lights of
Pick you up after school.
The other kids, they think I'm weird.
Carrie, favorite poem? Did you bring one?
I don't want to be. I want to be normal.
Wipe that smile off your face.
I have to try and be a whole person before it's too late.
Help this little girl see the sin of her days and ways. She's made innocent. The curse of blood would
Mama, that's not even in the Bible. It doesn't say that anywhere.
Go to your closet and pray.
No. No! Mama!
You pray, little girl. You pray for forgiveness.
Mama! Mama, let me go! Help! If I concentrate hard enough, I can make things move. There are other people out there like me who can do what I can do.
You know the devil never dies. Keeps coming back. You gotta keep killing him. No!
Prom is next week. You don't have a date already. Maybe you want to go with me.
Mama, I've been asked to prom.
No. They're gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Mama, stop it.
If the two of you are planning some kind of joke on a poor, lonely girl...
Your king and queen are...
Really?
Yeah. Just okay, which is really weird for me because I hate Julianne Moore with a passion. It doesn't do anything for me. I can't stand watching her. There's just something about her.
She's good in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, but even then, I still didn't like her. It's just something about her. But in here, I don't know if she's just because I don't like her and she's playing the evil, nasty mom that it might work a little bit better for me. But I'm
because you're supposed to hate
yes.
her. That's why.
But I'm actually kind of intrigued by it. Again, the trailer gives away a lot, and I've watched the original, and it looks as though they're staying fairly close. Okay, apart from the ending, I guess the ending seems, I'm assuming what from the ending is from the trailer. They're embellishing it a little bit more as to what her powers can be, or how she uses her powers. I think, but I'm quite intrigued by it. I don't think I'll go see it in the cinema, but I think I'll definitely catch it on DVD or whatever when it comes out.
Do you know, I have this thing now that because there's not enough horror films coming out at the cinema for me.
Yeah.
So I make sure I go and see everything that comes out at the cinema because I'm one of the few that does. I mean, I couldn't believe on preview night, it wasn't even release night, I went to see Evil Dead because I wanted to see it the earliest I possibly conceivably could.
Yeah.
And there must have been 15 people in that cinema screen.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, I don't know if it's just Surrey's too stuck up to go and see horror movies, I don't know.
Yeah.
But just like, oh, people, really? What are you doing?
That's strange. I would have thought more would have been.
Yeah, I would. On previews, I thought, I booked like 3 days early just in case.
Yeah.
And the place was pretty much empty. Unless they went to the 7 o'clock showing, I suppose, and we went at 9, maybe there was only one cinema full of people who wanted to see it. But
possible, yeah.
Disappointing. People, if you like horror, go and see it at the cinema. Otherwise, everything's going straight to DVD. Which I know sometimes it makes things accessible sooner and easier, but sometimes you just want that spectacle and you want it that big and that loud. I personally love horror films in the cinema.
Yes.
It's a me thing.
No, I'm with you on that one. It can make a decent movie even more better when you're experiencing it in full, like say the full sound and big screen, and you can just see more or feel more immersed in it and get taken away more. But yeah, so that's me. Oh, I've got one more trailer.
Go on.
I told you I'm trying a trailer kick because I'm trying to find movies that were going to get me excited. Or this was before Evil Dead. Okay. Dominic Burns, are you out there? Are you listening? Do you want to know how your piece of shit movies probably should have been done? I am talking about Airborne. Watch the trailer for 7500.
All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye.
Hi, welcome aboard.
But the
LAX, this is Mr. Pacific 7500 Heavy. Looking to pick up clearance for Tokyo.
taxi's waiting.
Flight 10's prepared for takeoff.
Excuse me, all electronic devices must be turned off.
Total urban myth, by the way. I guarantee you I leave this thing on, nothing will happen.
So kiss me and smile for
See?
This is the captain. We're approaching a little rough there. It shouldn't be too bad.
Mr. Pacific, flight 7500, do you copy? 7500, do you copy?
I'm leaving on a jet plane.
This is exactly the same type of movie.
Okay.
But it stars way horror people. Because if you're going to put Amy Smart and Leslie Bibb in a movie, I'm pretty much going to watch it. But yes, and plus it's from the director of The Grudge, which
Ooh, okay.
And not the. Oh, I don't know. Did the same director do the American remake?
I couldn't tell
Can't
you.
remember.
I can't remember if that was The Ring or The Grudge. I always get them mixed up. So without looking.
But
I
yeah,
won't
so it's
pretend
the
to
director
know.
of The Grudge, either or. Takashi Shimizu. Apologies if I've done that wrong. But yeah, this is basically people get on a plane and a supernatural force is on the plane with them. It looks cheesy and hokey, and it's only like a PG-13, so there's not going to be like any fancy boobs and stuff in it, which is a bit bad.
Yeah.
But it could be worth a laugh. Again, it'd be one that a DVD watch, or maybe if I could get my son to go see it with me and go, he's only PG-13, won't be too scary, and lure him in that way and go, look, pretty ladies. But yeah,
one criticism: Evil Dead, no boobage, not good enough.
I was disappointed.
Not good enough.
Disappointed. But yes,
I should knock it down a whole point for that, shouldn't I? Really?
At least I think it should be at least a whole point because there was plenty of opportunity for boobage.
Okay, it's 9 out of 10.
Yes. And before I sign off and hand over to you, this is pissing me off. Okay, really pissing me off. There's obviously a big thing about Amazon and Netflix starting to do their own productions, so they can lure people to their sites, which is fine. I haven't got a problem with that. Netflix has got something that's come out called Hemlock Grove, which I think is like.
I just this second finished episode 1.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was going to meant to tweet you beforehand to say, hey, are you guys getting this over here, or is it a simultaneous release or whatever? The trailer didn't do much for me, but any good?
Not yet.
Okay. That's what I was.
Episode 1, some interesting things, but it's kind of, I don't know what to compare it to. It's sort of somewhere between True Blood and Twin Peaks in style and oddity.
Okay.
It's not Twin Peaks over the top odd.
Yeah.
But it was a bit. We finished it. We're like, that was kind of strange, and I didn't like the way it was graded. But that's probably being a little bit too pedantic.
Okay.
But it started with boobs in the first 5 minutes. So like, well, you got my attention.
Yep.
No. Because like you see this thing, this is rated 18. I'm thinking, oh, cool, right. We'll see how far they go with this. And there's one murder in the first one, some intestines. So, but so far nothing to shout about. But I always give something 5 episodes. Give it a 5-episode go. If after 5 I'm not coming back, then you've failed, as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah, I like the fact they released all the episodes at the one time.
Yeah.
So, which is good.
That is good.
Because that way I can, like, say, you can go, okay, maybe I didn't give it a chance, let's kill another 45 minutes and watch it, rather than maybe just leave it in the queue for a year and never come back to it. So I want to check. I want to check it out. Sorry.
What was pissing you off about it?
Oh, that wasn't what was pissing me off about it.
Okay.
What's pissing me off is this piece of news: Amazon and Zombieland, the TV show.
Yes, I heard about this.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
No.
Don't. It'll piss you off.
Oh, really?
Oh, it pissed me off. I love Zombieland.
Mm,
Absolutely love Zombieland. I could watch that movie 100 times over. I love Woody Harrelson. I love Emma Stone. I love Jesse Eisenberg. I love everything about that movie. The trailer just looks awful. Awful, awful, awful. I mean, I can see why it'd be an interesting. could potentially be an interesting thing to do. But I mean, I think an hour and a half movie, or however long it is, can't be much longer than that. That's just a perfect little time you can to do that kind of zombie kills and have all the fun with it and all the fun with the rules and all that stuff. And I don't really see how you can make a 15, 20 episode TV show out of it unless you've got characters that are really good and you want to kind of follow them and believe in them and be with them in their journey. And these people just
on the writers as well.
Yeah, but I think it's from the same guy. I could be wrong on that one, but I think it's the same guy who had something to do with it. But the people in it just they were just rubbing me up the wrong way, and I just no people.
Okay.
I'm hoping that.
Well, I had a look on Love Film because they're now owned by Amazon to see if it was on the Love Film streaming service, but it's not there.
Yeah, I don't know when it comes out, or if it's even going to get properly done, if they've made more than a pilot or whatever.
Right.
I've been reading something that Amazon have made like 14 or 15 pilots, and people get to view and rate or vote, as to which one they would like to see more of and all that crap.
Okay.
And then they might make more of it, and I'm just hoping. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being a bit testy and just overprotective, but the Zombieland little trailer just rubbed me up the wrong way. So please, no.
As a concept, though, it's kind of exciting because that's going to create more opportunity. It's more people making TV.
Yes.
And putting money into TV, and they're going to look for new talent. And like I said, I know people who should be doing that, and it's more possibility for them to get noticed and into that kind of thing. So I'm kind of okay. They maybe didn't start so strong, but there's some stuff that might be coming, and some people that might now get jobs that they wouldn't have before, who are really very talented. Funny, it leads me into one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I don't even know what happened. There's a bit of a mix-up on my phone, I think, actually. Where obviously the Little Pod Twitter account, because it's a horror show, a lot of people who are doing similar horror projects or actors or whatever, we get a lot of follows that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, we need to follow them back, right? So I did it via my phone. So I logged in as Little Pod of Horrors, I went back and I followed them all back. The next minute I know, I get like 15 or 20, or maybe, and increasing exponentially it seems, follower requests to my personal Twitter account, which is kind of like, And I accepted a few because they looked interesting. And one of these is a company called Bloody Cuts. Have you heard of these people?
No, sir.
Okay, from what I can guess, they've been doing a series of shorts, okay? And because I'm incredibly lazy, I don't really read up on this sort of thing. Basically, they're doing a run of short films, and they're all horror.
Right.
And their latest one came out this week, and I think what they do is they do like Kickstarter projects, get people to donate, so they've actually got some budget for these things. Now, I intend to go back and watch more of them, but the one that's just come out, my suggestion actually would be that we pause here and you watch it, and then we come back and talk about it.
Okay.
It's about 5 or 6 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can do that.
Is that cool? Okay. Let's do it.
There we go. That was awesome.
It's not bad, is it? It's about the third time I've seen it now. I'm super, super impressed.
Definitely.
Now, I don't know if it's just that, I don't know, somebody follows blah, blah, blah. I don't know how the Twitter thing's working. If somebody who listens to this actually knows them and put them our way, thank you if you did.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that is very cool. I'll put a link in the show notes, but...
Please do.
www.bloodycuts.co.uk is the site.
I have to watch the rest now because that's part 8. There's 7 more, which I'm excited to watch.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the time yet, so...
Premier Edinburgh bootleg film. Oh, God, see, I'm looking at the site now, and I shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to bookmark that site, so I can spend some more time gone back and looking at that. But yeah, people go check that out and support the short films.
Yes, because it does work on. I'm pretty sure it works. I saw some calls for Kickstarter monies and whatever, and they seem to knock them out pretty quick as well, which is just, having seen how long something like that takes to make, having been involved, just pretty impressive.
Yeah, I do like a good little horror short when it's done right and done well, and that one has done very well. It's a lot of time and effort gone into that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there is another horror short that I have some involvement with coming up. As soon as we are able to show and talk about it, I will be. So yeah, exciting times.
Yeah.
But like I say, people like that, making that kind of thing, if I was working for Amazon or Netflix, I'd be like, get them.
Yeah.
To make me something, you know what I mean? Just
exactly, or even just to promote them on their sites or whatever and say, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. Just brilliant stuff. Now, obviously, I have been watching some films, and I have sort of a double whammy beers for Boz. Well, not really. Well, there's one and a bit.
One and a bit, okay.
One and a bit. Actually, I've forgotten what the bit is now, but we were talking before the show, and I was like, I need to add that one to it. I'm sure it will come back. So before that, I'll talk about a couple of others I've seen. Okay. Now, I'd never heard of this one before, and it looked like quite a cool poster, which is why I clicked play. Mm-hmm. It's a film called The Task.
You got anything to say?
We have to get him out of there.
Hey, kiddo, calm down. The show is over. We've wrapped.
Get that out of my face!
The name of the show is The Task, and the premise is simple. To win $20,000 each, all you have to do is spend one night in that abandoned prison. You'll be asked to perform a series of tasks that will test your nerves, your courage, and your sanity.
I thought coming out of the closet was scary.
And let's get this party started. Good luck, inmates.
Welcome to the task. Can you please not do that?
We are totally ready to go.
Okay, that is really creepy.
Task 1. Try not to die!
Call upon the dark spirit by reading the Lord's Prayer in reverse.
That's total Satan stuff I can't.
Money, money, money.
Evil from us deliver.
Task 2!
Welcome to solitary confinement.
You gotta be kidding.
Cell number 5 was the biggest contributor to his death toll.
Who is that?
Now, Claire, let me out! It just disappeared.
Task 3!
Enter the gas chamber.
Who are you?
This is way off script.
What was that?
Get the hell out of there.
Open the door!
This warden beat them, raped them, and he starved them to death.
Have you heard
The
of this?
Task? It seems to ring a bell for some reason, and I'm not sure why. It could be one of those ones that I have many in my Netflix queue. And I don't know if that's that or
I'll
not.
just wait for you to find it on IMDb.
I am looking that up at the moment.
Yeah. Now, the premise of this, I thought, oh god, and it was actually, I watched it before we did our found footage thing, and then completely forgot to mention it on the found footage show.
Okay.
Now, up to about 20-30 minutes into this, I was like, ugh, whatever. It is basically like a Big Brother type setup.
Mm-hmm.
So these people do an audition to be on this show, The Task, whatever. And then they say, well, we'll let you know. And then they never hear anything. And then one day, a van comes round and abducts them all one by one, sticks a bag over the head and throws them in the back of the van.
Awesome.
And actually, the scary face that's on the poster, which made me think, oh, looks interesting, it's just a mask.
Okay.
It's just a bank robber's mask, basically.
Okay. I was wondering because I see the poster.
Yeah. And here's a big, creepy old house, and we're going to put you in here. There's hidden cameras everywhere, and we're going to make you do various tasks. So I actually thinking about it, it's not a found footage thing. It's a lot of it's shot on like set up cameras already. I can't remember if it's pure found footage, if there's actually some proper shots. So maybe I may have left it out for that reason. I can't remember now, but I sort of stuck with it. And there was a couple of little twists early on, not twists, but little, diversions in the story. I thought, well, that's quite an interesting idea. That's quite an interesting idea. And then it goes through, and I'm thinking, yeah. And there wasn't enough to make me turn it off. And then about 10 minutes before the end, I was like, oh, that's actually quite good. So it has merit at the end, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
You can sort of see it coming, but there are bits they leave you guessing about, and you're like, well, what happened there? And then right at the end, you're sort of, oh, I see.
It's one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-star movie, but if you're looking for something amongst the shite, it rises above the shite.
Okay.
So it's worth a look. Now, one that very firmly does not get its head anywhere near above the shite, and unfortunately, it's another example where I didn't finish it. Now, I can't remember if I rage quit it because it had just pissed me off too much. I remember it was pissing me off, but I sort of hated the whole style of this movie. It's called Panic Button.
Welcome aboard. Congratulations to you all for winning the all-expenses-paid trip to New York, courtesy of altogether.com.
In 1985, for the madame.
This is amazing.
This is how the other half live, eh? Hey! I can get used to this.
We have some exclusive in-flight entertainment prepared for you.
Yay!
Let's play.
I was just curious, all right? I thought it was a fake.
Was it enjoyable seeing a man killed before your eyes?
We've all looked at shit that we shouldn't have done in the past. All of us. Emails all blocked. Who's in there? Open the door!
You will each be given an assignment. Failure to complete your assignments will result in more deaths.
Make him stop.
I will gladly kill your friends if need be, or your families.
Okay. Who do you want me to kill?
Tap on screen to read the terms and conditions.
Accept.
And it's virtually the same as The Task. A load of people put on a plane, made to play a Big Brother type game on a plane that's in the air.
Okay.
And the game is like an automated computer program, and it's a bitch.
Okay.
it just this, you did this horrible thing, we're going to reveal it to the world, kind of. And it gets a little bit more sinister. And I couldn't be arsed. I just couldn't be arsed with it. It was pretty damn awful. So I toyed with, shall I sit through this and have it as a Beers for Boss? And I was like, no, just it's not happening.
Oh wow! You want to get okay? Have you looked at the poster for this?
Well, the one I've seen is like somebody with a hand over their mouth in an iris of somebody's eye and a camera.
Okay. No, this isn't the poster that I'm looking at.
Okay.
There are obviously usually the more tagline, or not more taglines, the more quotes you see on the poster scares me.
Yeah.
But one of the ones that really intrigues me about this and makes me kind of laugh is that there is 4 stars on there from Fright Fest.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Now, having been to Fright Fest, and I know that there are certain people, there's different people there who choose the movies to go on there, and seeing some of the shit that gets put on at Fright Fest and go, you chose this? Why? Who blew you? That it's a bit of a weird one, but yes, the Ain't It Cool News apparently calls it the best British horror in years. 4 stars.
And it says nail-bitingly terrifying.
Yes.
It didn't make me even... Well, I don't know, maybe I gave up too soon.
And what...
Maybe I do have to see what happens.
What even is this quote? What does this even mean? The social network of shocks. What?
That's because the conceit is this computer program that is doing the game is basically like Facebook that they've all signed up for, and because of their social network use of that, it knows too much about them.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit of a... That's probably why people are going, oh, it's amazingly clever, because it's like what social networking could do to you.
Okay.
It's like, okay,
right.
Whatever.
Yeah, fuck off.
It didn't grab me in the slightest, I'm afraid. But if anybody's seen it in full and would like to let us know what they thought, if I'm completely wrong, I will suck it up and watch the whole thing. But at this stage, can it be arsed? So that just leaves my B is for Boz selections, really.
It's your jingle and go.
A is for apple. B is for
Buzz.
C is for crayons. D is for drum.
Like scrotum, here it is in a nutshell.
Right. This one was on my love film list, came through the door on a disc, and I totally forgot again that I'd put it on there again. This seems to be the thing with me. I love it. I only do it every now and then and just put random shite on there. Now, this should have been awesome.
Okay.
Just because it's a genre of film I very much love, and this week it couldn't have been better timing given the cinema release we're raving about this week. This movie is called Evil Dead versus Shaolin.
Okay.
In fact, no, it's not. It's called Shaolin versus Evil Dead. Get it right.
Well, get it right. Come on.
Now, there's actually two. There's Shaolin versus Evil Dead. Shaolin versus Evil Dead Ultimate Power. Okay. Now, anybody who knows their old school kung fu movies will remember a movie called Mr. Vampire. I've gushed about this on other podcasts before. When I was quite young, they used to put these movies on late at night, and I was just about the age when I was able to stay up and watch telly and not get in trouble, sort of thing. So, and I watched. I actually recorded them on VHS. I loved this series of basically Chinese kung fu ghost stories, and it's a lot of sort of Buddhism and mythology mixed up. And so, like, the vampires always wear like a tabard and a little hat thing and have a white face, and they put their arms out forward, straight forward, like the old zombie pose kind of thing, and they hop with both feet forwards, boing, boing, and that's how they attack you, with both feet together, jumping forward with their hands straight out towards you. The thing, like the fingernails, if they touch you, I don't know, they take your soul or whatever, or they just grab you, I don't know, because they never really get hold of anyone.
Okay, yeah.
And
shockingly,
people kick the shit out of them whilst they're hopping towards them, and they can hop a long way, and I love these Mr. Vampire movies, and the whole thing is like they come up towards the way you fight them is you kung fu them away as much as you can, but then you have these little yellow strips of paper with an incantation or something written on it, and you stick it to their forehead, and then they can't move.
Right, okay.
So, the Mr. Vampire movies, there's a lot of bouncing vampires who get stopped dead in their tracks by a bit of paper being slapped on their forehead. Okay?
Nice.
This movie starts, and it's a monk with a little tattoo on his forehead, walking along, ringing a bell, and they follow him.
Okay.
And they've all got a bit of paper stuck to their forehead, but these are zombies, not vampires.
Right.
But they've got their arms stuck out and they're hopping. And I'm like, fucking brilliant! Yes, it's like Mr. Vampire. No, it's not.
Aww.
I think the biggest problem, and this is one of my pet hates, is overdubbed, and I had no options.
Oh, God.
No language options. The people who overdub these things should all be shot in the face, if you ask me. They overact them so badly. There's an annoying little kid and a dumbass sidekick and the really pious, Shaolin monk who knows what he's talking about, who has to keep saving their asses. I'm not going to go into plot intricacies, but at one point it's slapstick, at another point it's a god-awful love story type setup. And the bit I was a bit shocked by is the alter ego to this Shaolin monk dude is like, he wears black, but the Shaolin monk guy goes white, so you know who's good and who's evil.
You gotta know who's good and who's evil.
Well, he's kind of not evil at first, but you think he probably will become evil because he's wearing black.
Yeah.
But he is in one of my favourite kung fu movie ever, which is Yip Man, which is the based on the life story of the guy who trained Bruce Lee to do Wing Chun.
Oh, right, okay.
Played by Donnie Yen. It's a fantastic movie. And the guy who plays the bad guy in Shaolin vs. Evil Dead is the northerner who comes into town, thinks he can beat up all the martial arts tutors, and does. And they go, well, you haven't beaten everybody because you haven't fought Yip Man yet, and he kicks them all around his house. Okay. Now, I like that guy. His martial arts I could watch all day, but this movie was no showcase for that.
Oh, God.
It's absolutely dreadful. And sort of in all this, they have a game of like Pokemon chess. I'm kind of not sure how they got to this. He raises an army of little boy martial arts boys and makes them undead. So they wear tabards and have the white faces, and then the monk turns up and he has a load of little Shaolin monk boys, and these little teenage boys all fight each other. But before they do, they call the power of a dragon, and a big bad CG 3D dragon comes up behind them, and the bad guys have a big CG 3D spider. I'm like, fuck me, it's Pokemon now! It's Pokemon! Brilliant, let's go! No, it wasn't brilliant at all. And then he goes, oh, I'll see you again. And everybody just disappears. And I think, oh, God, isn't this finished yet? And the bad guy goes and he wakes up I think he's after some powerful stone for some magic, and he wakes up a big Gribbly from under the ground who comes back and starts beating everybody up. Meanwhile, the little boy has eaten the egg, which has the soul of one of the dead zombies in it, and he swallows it by mistake and eats too much sticky rice and gives birth to a 12-year-old boy the same size as him who runs around calling him Mama for about 25 minutes. And there's a big showdown at the end with the big nasty Gribbly zombie and little baldy baby Jesus thing over here. And I'm like, look, little baldy baby Jesus thing is going to save the day. And he does.
Yay.
And then the film ends just like, bang, just finished, end. Like, what? There's no exposition? There's no, ha ha ha, we're happy ever after? No, just this fight, bad guy explodes, credits. Then this little window on the credits of what looks like an entire other film. Or I thought they'd actually shot the end of this movie, but ran out of money to put it together. But actually what it is, I think it must be a rolling trailer for the next part in the series.
Right, okay.
Which came out 3 years later.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm so not watching it. I just cannot be asked. So I started all excited. Oh, this is a throwback to Mr. Vampire, and then it became about zombies swallowing eggs with souls in and little baldy baby Jesus shit going around saying "Mama." I just no. No thanks. Well, no, but I mean, I'm one of these people who will watch one of these movies, and I don't bat an eyelid when somebody jumps 36 feet in the air, does a triple backflip, lands in a tree, because I understand the universe in which these movies are set. That stuff doesn't bother me. But when it's just so disjointed and not cohesive, and they've tried to do too much with it, and the face masks are just like plasticine. It's just like the worst special. It was made in 2004, and the prosthetics look worse than sort of a Lucio Fulci film. Sort of, you know what I mean? Things have moved on a bit. You could have done it a lot better than that, trust me. Oh, just no. Just no. And there was another one I watched. I put up with it to the bitter end, thinking I could mention it as a Beers for Boz. It's only just sneaking in. This film called Uninhabited. It's a bit like it looks like Castaway.
Oh, okay.
A couple get dropped off on a deserted island as like a survival experience type thing, and well, it kind of looked alright. This running around on the beach in bikinis, whatever. This gets a 4.3 on IMDb.
Yeah, see that.
And I then realised, not too far into the film, what the Uninhabited was referring to. It was uninhabited by plot or anything interesting whatsoever. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Basically, there's a ghost that lives on this island that is the ghost of a girl who got raped by lots of men. So if a man and a woman go to the island, the ghost of the girl will have the man killed somehow. And it's just, there's lots of creepiness going on. Well, not lots. There's a little bit of creepiness going on. You think, well, maybe there's going to be some kind of impressive death scene at this little cabin in the middle of the island. No. I think the most painstaking death is somebody stands on a stonefish.
Oh, don't want to do that.
Yes. And the acting's not good either. It's a dreadful movie. Just,
The things you put yourself through for this show.
I know. The things with Beers with Boz is going to watch the stuff that most people find too tacky that I actually enjoy. It wasn't supposed to be like me ranting about how much I hate a movie. You know, so I'm thinking, oh, Beers with Boz, brilliant. Mr. Vampire, I could joke about that. Then no, it's just terrible. It's just terrible.
Oh, sorry.
So I have one lined up, which I think will fit in the Beers for Boz bracket, and it's one you mentioned way back. I think you saw it Fright Fest.
Okay.
Now, I think it's going to fit that category, and I think I'm going to enjoy it, and it's... is it Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl?
Oh, God, that.
Japanese one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is on my list, and I expect it to fall into that category, so if you've seen that and you want to hear my thoughts, then come back in a few shows' time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to go back and even attempt to watch that.
No. Yeah, I'll drag it all back up for you.
Yes, you can. So you can. It's one of the ones that I can't even remember much, so let's see if I can bring much up, or bring my memories of the movie up.
We'll get you to regurgitate those, unlike last week where you were regurgitating other things in the middle of the show.
Yes.
They did very well at covering it, ladies and gentlemen, but the last episode we recorded, I didn't mention it during that episode, because I felt so fucking sorry for this guy. He's like,
Bastard.
Yeah, I'm going to record today, but by the way, I've been really ill, and I may just have to run off. And I'm like, okay, are you sure you're okay to record? Oh, yeah, I'm fine, don't worry. I haven't eaten or drank anything, so I should be fine. And like, I don't know, 10 minutes into the show, he has a sip of water, and it just disappears off.
Yep.
And just in the background... It just comes back like nothing's happened. Okay, I'm fine. We're like, yeah, you left your mic on, dude. I heard you chucking up in the toilet. So, if you're ever going to donate to the Little Pod of Horrors, the dedication of this man to record while he has a stomach bug and is throwing up roughly every 45 minutes, he deserves a fucking medal, if you ask me. Even though I'm giving him shit now.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough. So was it?
You're a legend, sir. You're a legend.
Yes, I didn't make that mistake the second time I went to throw up. I did press the mute button on the mic. So.
I'm so glad I'm not squeamish about these things.
Yeah, it's because I love you so much, people. So it is. When we get a chance to record, you have to take it.
We don't get many of those.
No, we don't, unfortunately.
You might have noticed.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, that made me laugh. Thank you, sir.
Don't worry.
I'm just going to cut it all out of the podcast. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, you can, exactly. You have that power now.
I'm only kidding. We'll leave that on. What? Have we come to an end?
I think we have for this.
I think we have come to a natural end for this, yes, because I'm really keen to talk about Evil Dead, and we're going to do it in a second show. Or another show.
Yeah.
Which, who knows, maybe even because that might be shorter, I might release the Evil Dead show before this show, and this could be completely like, I don't know, some sort of memento type-esque thing.
Well, I do think that there's a fair amount of people who admit this freely, listen to this show with no intention of watching anything that we talk about.
Oh, yeah.
It just gives them an insight into the genre, really. So I fully expect those people to listen to the Evil Dead spoilerific nightmare. And I do wonder if at some point those people who fully intend not to watch anything the curiosity will just get the better of them.
It has to. It has to. We're going to slowly bring them along to our way of thinking.
Yeah.
So we'll take over one person at a time. And you know who we're talking about out there, sir. We're talking about you.
That's what it's out.
That's okay. And on that note, we're going to get out of here so we can record this cool Evil Dead show.
Yes.
So we can. So if you have any thoughts that you would like to share with us, please do send in your feedback to thelittlepodofhorrors@gmail.com. We have got one piece of feedback out there. Pablo, I'm not forgetting about you. We just didn't get around to doing it on this show. I apologise. I will get round to your feedback in the next proper show that we do, I promise. And boys, you can hold me to that one.
I should really, shouldn't I? Because that is about 4 months since he wrote it.
We're not ignoring you, I promise. Anybody else, if you have feedback, please send it in to tweets, Google Plus, audio comments, whatever. All greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And sir, thank you very much for another entertaining hour.
That's been a pleasure.
Cool. And we'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you would like to send an email to the show, please do so at thelittlepodofhorrors@gmail.com. Also, why not go along to the website at www.thelittlepodofhorrors.com, and from there you can find links to our Twitter, Facebook, Google+, forum and blog page. Thanks for listening.
Tweet. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I have lost connectivity. Thank you very much, Virgin fucking Media. And you could take that one to the bank.
Hello.
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 Oh.
Hello.
I think a speed test might be in order.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the outtake. I have Gordon on the other end of Skype, but he actually sounds like a Dalek having an epileptic fit. So we shall try to reconnect this call now.
Hello. Hello.
Actually,
Hello?
now it sounds like a Commodore 64 trying to do sound effects. You hear that?
Hello. Hello. This is weird. Am I pressing a mute button or something?
I may have to go and unplug a router.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Speed test. Still a
Hello?
demented Dalek.
Hello.
Terrific.
Hello.
Okay, I'm getting 10, 11, 11 and a half, 12. 12
Is there
megabit down.
anybody
13
out
megabit
there?
down.
Hello?
13.3 down. According to this,
Hello.
2.6 up.
Hello. Oh, this sucks balls. Hello.
So,
Hello. Hello. Hello.
fuck's sake. I'm now restarting Skype.
Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2, testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Is there anybody out there? Tim, Stevens. Hello.
Hello.
There you are.
I restarted Skype. It seems to have made a difference.
Fucking Skype.
Yeah, I was just in the middle of saying how I love how you can get up a trailer for something like this Purge movie and it says, watch full Purge movie now. Really?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's not just going to bring up a load of porn and spyware and viruses if I click there. I think I'll pass, thank you.
Yes. One was trying to tell me that if I could watch it through Netflix. I was like, I don't think so. Fairly sure Netflix aren't into pirating movies.
No, exactly.
Or maybe they are. Maybe Netflix are terrorists. Who knows?
Yeah.